This is an update on ADS version 1.390. This release has updated support for OpenGL on Windows, a new Zebra rendering mode if I click some contoured objects, and a mesh. So the existing shade, transparent, and Zebra, which is good for visualizing contours and curved surfaces. The new feature added in this release is an attachment object. So this is the tool for adding a new attachment. I click on it, and then I click on a tube or a curve in the scene, and it's going to add a marker where the location is. One of the other new features in this release also when an object is selected is it shows the object's origin. So its coordinate system 0, and then orientation in the scene. So you can see relative where it is located, and then you can see its position XYZ. So in the settings for the attachment, I can set a few different types. The default will attach itself between the arc segments, which are these points here. And a more useful option is the center line, which is going to follow the center line with the arc bend radius. So once I edit the offset distance, which is the distance from this offset segment from here to here, when I increase the length, it's going to follow the center line of the bend. And it will extend to the limit is the center of the bend. And to go beyond, I will type in the next segment and then have the option of sliding. Another mode is the straight segment. So in most cases, when working with tube, the usable region is the straight segments. So that's this region, this region, and this region. When bending a tube, you can't cut into it with a tube notcher, or the tube will collapse when it's being bent. So in this case, we can limit the offset to the range of the straight segment. And you can set the orientation, so I can reverse the direction, and I can also attach another tube to this attachment point. So in this case, I can select the object by clicking on it. And now I choose the mode, so I want the start to attach to it, and I can click on the distance, and I can move it. So in this case, it's a brand new feature, so we're still working out some of the bugs. This arc tube is a mirror, and the mirror is missing, so I'll just drag that in, and then when I update the object, it's going to reconstruct the mirrored object. So another useful feature with the attachments is in the editor, if I'm editing this tube, I can select this end point. I can move it around or punch in the length and distance and offset, and then click on the Snap with Attachment tool. So this will connect the two tubes with an attachment point, and then if I click OK, I can now select the attachment and then change the distance offset, which is the length from this point to here, 4.5, and then I can choose all of the other settings, center line, straight segment. I can reverse the direction, and I can change which objects it's attached to. And this will give you a structured way of building complex tube frame projects that stay connected or quickly type in distances and offsets. And the notches will need to be reconstructed, but you can do that with the regular tools. And then recreate the tabs and slots. Here's a quick update to the new release just before we push it out. The mirrored objects are now corrected. The attachment now reflects mirrored objects. I can edit the ArcTube and make modifications if I drag to a new location and use the snap with attachment. It will use the same attachment because of the same segment and tubes. If I cancel, it will restore to the previous state as best as it can. And that's it for this release.